Have you ever found yourself wondering just before you're about to click buy? Are you asking yourself, should I, shouldn't I? And trying to figure out, well, what's the thing that should tip this decision and make it absolutely crystal clear? Well, that's basically the question that came in from Instagram. I got this question just this morning, and it says, what's the final deciding element or moment that you enter a position? In other words, what's the last decision factor that makes you click and send the order? So I thought that it would be great to dissect this question because there's a lot of people out there that have similar questions. I hear questions like this. And there's really three core things that I want to walk you through. The first is going to be, does this closely fit my model? Then, whether or not I want to place a working order for it, or if I want to place an alert for it. So let's dive in. So, does this clearly fit my model? Well, in order to decide if it clearly fits my model, and I talk about this in two spots. I talk about it in the Trading Mind Wheel book. I lay out all the different setups that I have, and I lay out specifically the definitions of the setup, basically everything that is also in my playbook. You guys may have seen me talk about this before. This is something that gets shared well with all of our research members too. So if you're interested in that, I'll include a link to both this, to the research program, and to the book down in the description. You can take a 2-week free trial, but basically, what I have here are the different setups that I'm interested in, and you can see that they're very clearly defined. How long these things need to be, the depth of them, the look and character, when I should expect to see them. Well, what takes them from good to great, and then I have several models of each one of them. So that's the first set of criteria. How closely does this setup that I'm looking at, how closely does it fit this model? And if it's a very close fit, then I move on to the next step. And the next step is the next step is, do I want to place a working order for this particular trade, or do I want to set an alert? And the way that I start to figure that out has to do with the chart. So let's bring up a chart of a stock that I'm in right now. So I bought VIRT this past Monday. It fit my criteria for a pullback, very closely matched the model. And so the first thing that I do, I start to add some indicators here. You see a few of them, right? So there's a Fibonacci retracement. In brief, you use this tool if you're using it over on TradingView, and it probably looks very similar on other platforms too. But you take this, you anchor it to the top of the pattern, and you draw it to the bottom of the pattern, and you can see how well the Fibonacci levels line up. And for this particular one, the entry where I got in right over here, or was thinking about getting in right over there on this upside reversal, was pretty closely correlated with this Fibonacci retracement level, that 382 retracement level. All right, great. Then I added a couple of other things here. You see those blue lines? Those are anchored VWAPs. I just did another video on anchored VWAPs, so go check that one out. But what I'll also do is then I'll measure the distance of where I plan to enter and where I'm thinking about placing my stop loss. In this case, it's 4.5%. And I also take a look at those levels on other time frames. So I'm looking at them on weekly time frames and on the 30-minute time frames. I like to go one time frame higher, in this case the weekly, and one time frame lower, in this case the 30-minute. And so where I was thinking of placing my stop loss happened to be just below last week's low. So now I've got multi-time frame confluence there, and then I'll go and I'll take a look at how it looks on the 30-minute, and you could easily spot, and this is what I look for when I'm going to the lower time frames. Can I easily spot the setup on the lower time frames? And let's zoom in a little bit. And in this case, I was able to see, yes, I do see the same structure there. Okay, fine. So what differentiates between, do I want to take this trade as an alert, or do I want to set a working order? The thing that differentiates it for me is how much confluence do I have around support, and how tight is this thing? Uh, on average, most of the time I'm looking to risk 5% or less on a trade. So with this one being 4.5%, it's right in there. Great. So now it's in the realm of, do I want to place a working order for this? So for that, I'll then come over to my website, marawealth.com, and there's this free tool that I made. It's called the Trade Gauntlet Calculator. Basically, this thing is a giant checklist of all the things that I'm interested in for a stock to have. And there's lots of criteria in this. There's I think there's 95, 96 things. It might be 100 things now. I might have added one or two things, but I'll see if the stock can jump through these different hoops, and absolutely nothing passes 100%, but I'm not looking for 100%. I want it to pass at least 70% in order for me to place a working order. So I'll go through all these different things, and then it'll generate a score. And if the score is above a 7, then I'm placing the working order for it, where I'll say, okay, on this trade, right? So let's go back to our example. So on VIRT, yes, I want to place an entry, a buy stop limit order at $27.71, with the limit price being just 1% above, right? I don't want it to be too high. I don't want it to be too low, just right, just like Goldilocks. And then that is basically it. And then I'll step away and let it do its thing. So that's my process. And the main thing, the big takeaway from this is that you want to have a verification process. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you're looking at, that you are making sure that, hey, this actually does fit what I'm looking for, and it fits very closely this model that's historically proven to make money. So it does have an edge, and you have a robust process. You might look at the gauntlet and maybe you're thinking, oh man, 100 things on a checklist, that's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. It's meant to be a lot because I work hard for my money just like everybody else, and it's worthy of having this level of verification. We're putting our money to work. We should verify that, yeah, this actually is a good idea. So that's why I do that, and that's why I have that tool. And you're welcome to go use it and try it out over on marawealth.com. It's free. So that's it. So thank you for the question, and I'd love to hear more questions. So please feel free to reach out, drop comments, and I'll see you in the next video.